Hello, this is Russell again with East Valley Property Management, and today's blog topic is what needs to be included in a lease agreement. So a lot of times we get calls from folks asking, what has to be in there. Can you find just a lease agreement online? Go to Office Max. I've seen blanket template lease agreements there. And so, a lot of those places have good lease agreements, but there is in the state of Arizona a couple things that have to be included. And one of the first things is that your lease should be in clear language. Sometimes I've seen 20-page leases and I read them and I can't make sense of it because it's so convoluted. And I can tell you in the state of Arizona, our judges do not like those types of leases. And so it confuses them. They don't want to spend hours of their time trying to dissect the lease agreement to understand what it means. And they really rule in favor against landlords that if their leases are too hard to understand, you're probably going to rule in favor of a tenant, because if a judge can't figure out your lease agreement, then they're going to just bet that the tenant had no clue what they were signing. So rule number one is you want your lease in clear language. And so we here at EVPM have made a practice of trying to make it very easy to read, a lease agreement that's condensed down. But one of the first things that you need to do, again, is clear language of what's being offered, who does what, when, where, how, and why. But the lease has to disclose who's the owner of the property. It also needs to have listed every single tenant who is going to be occupying the home. And you also want to know what the terms are. When's the start date and what's the end date? What you don't want is something that's open-ended, that has a start date and goes forever, because that would really, in Arizona, default to more of a month-to-month term. So you want to make sure your term is clear, and then how much exactly they need to pay. Rent is usually pretty clear, but some landlords opt to charge, like a pet fee or a pet rent, utility costs. Anything they need to pay for, it needs to be built into that lease and needs to be very clear as to the exact amount that the tenant's going to pay every month. Do you have to allow pets? No, you don't. Do you have to put appliances in the property? Well, no, you don't. You do need to supply adequate, electricity, plumbing, heating, cooling. But when it comes to like a refrigerator, washer, dryer, microwave, stuff like that is optional, and you do not need to have that in there. We find that no smoking is a best practice. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the lease, but that is something that we've chosen to be in there, as well as a couple of other things. For example, no trampolines, no above ground pools, etc. Things like that can bring risk to the property. And again, this is Russell with East Valley Property Management. Give us a call if we can be of any help to you. Thank you.